Okay, this video is to show you how to make a 5 by 6 inch box with a 1 by 1 inch grid so that you can do the hands using controller drawing. So what you guys are going to start off by doing is getting out your sketchbook. It's a little bit hard to see my white paper against my white background, but you are going to grab a ruler, your pencil, and your sketchbook, and you're going to start by making your paper so that it is tall ways in front of you. We call this, when the paper is tall ways in front of you, we call this portrait orientation. Okay, so we're going to start by taking your ruler, and everybody should have either the edge of a ruler or a line that indicates it's 0 or the actual number 0. And you are going to line 0 up with the edge of your paper across the top. And the two marks that you're going to make are 2 and 7. Okay, so all I've done is drawn little extensions for the longest lines by 2 and the longest line by 7. You are going to slide your ruler down to the bottom of your paper, where you are going to line 0 up with the edge of the left-hand edge of your paper again, and we're going to mark the same points, 2 and 7. Okay, you are going to take your ruler, and we are going to connect the number 2 points. Okay, so I'm going to lightly, you don't need to do this very dark, you are going to draw a line between the 2 points that you did up top that measure out 2 inches from the edge. Okay, your line should go right through both of those points. And you're going to go to your 7-inch marks and do the same thing. Don't do it very dark. Okay, the next step is we are going to take the paper, we're going to spin it, and now the lines that I just created are going from right to left instead of up and down. I'm going to line my ruler up parallel to these 2 lines. I'm always going to line 0 up with the edge of my paper, and this time I'm going to mark 1 and 7. Okay, I'm going to slide my ruler down to the bottom. I'm going to line 0 up with the left edge of my paper again and mark 1 and 7. Now I'm going to take my ruler and lightly connect the ones. Making sure that my line goes through both points. And I'm going to also lightly connect the 7s. Making sure that my line goes through both points. Okay. Now what I'm left with is a box in the middle of my paper that measures 5 inches by 6 inches. If you would like, you can erase all of these extra lines on the outside just to clean it up a little bit. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put a 1 by 1 inch grid inside of this 5 by 6 inch box. So if you would all put your paper so that your box is taller than it is wide, we're going to take your ruler, line 0 up now with the left hand edge of your box or border of your box, and you are going to mark every 1 inch across the top. So little extensions of these long lines right next to the numbers. We're going to mark 1, 2, 3, and 4. You do not need to mark 0 because that's the one edge of your box. You don't need to mark 5 because it's the other edge of the box. Okay, you're going to slide your ruler down to the bottom, line 0 up with the left edge of your box again, and do the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as lightly as you possibly can, you are going to connect the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s. Okay, I say lightly because a grid is a mathematical tool that we will eventually get rid of. We're just using it for its mathematical purposes to lay everything out correctly and keep everything in proportion. Okay, so I barely drug my pencil across the paper. You just need to make a mark light enough so that you can see it, but it can also be erased later. Okay, so when you have those 4 lines, you are going to take your paper and turn your paper so the lines you just created now are go from right to left. Okay, we're going to line up our ruler across the top, parallel to all 4 of those lines, making sure that 0 lines up with the left-hand border of your paper. And we are going to mark every 1 inch across the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slide it down to the bottom. Line 0 up with the left-hand edge of your box again. And mark 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in the same way that you just did it on the other side, you are going to, as lightly as you can, connect the 1s, connect the 2s, connect the 3s, the 4s, and the 5s, making sure that your lines run through both points, on both the top and the bottom. And we're going to keep your paper like this so that your box is wider than it is tall. Okay, your next step is we're going to label the columns and the rows. So we're going to label the columns A, B, C, D, E, and F. We're going to label the rows 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is going to correspond with the photograph that's also attached to the document. And what you're going to do now is you are going to grid draw everything that you see. So if you see nothing in box 1A, your box 1A is going to be left blank. As you come to 2A, we see a slight bit of the finger right there. So in our 2A, we're going to come draw the same slight bit of finger. Take the time to draw the hands now.